So you decide to go karting after a while. What do you expect? I don't know, maybe a few crashes? Someone spinning out? A wheel flying off a cart? Cheaters? Well, I don't know what to say to you, but everything I just mentioned happened in this video. I don't know what else I should say here, but let's get into the video. So here the lights go green and I catch up with this group of people right here. And then I catch up to this guy and he's just on the side of the track for some reason. So I get side by side with him and then overtake him on the outside quite easily. And after that I'm speeding through the street and I try to overtake kart 19, but that doesn't work out because it has a defensive line. But a few seconds later I catch up to kart 19 again and try to go for the inside again. And as I'm overtaking him, kart 19 turns into me and that causes me to barge through. I apologized afterwards because I thought it wasn't my fault, but who knows. And after that I catch up to kart 13 and I go for the inside right here, but he closes the gap off so I can't overtake him and I kinda hit him. But when we get to the straight, I manage to go for the inside and I'm just faster on this bit so I easily overtake him. And here's the first yellow flag of the session. For some reason kart 13 just overtakes me on the yellows. I don't know why he did this, but he got the overtake anyway so I can't do anything about it. But when we catch up to the straight, kart 13 brakes a lot and that causes me to mess up my entry. And when we get to a similar corner, he does the same thing and that causes me to spin out, but luckily no one crashed into me. And because of that, kart 9 manages to overtake me on the inside quite easily. I guess that's one more person I need to overtake now. And half a lap later I underestimate how much kart 9 brakes and I kinda hit him and I managed to get the overtake on the outside. And because of that, the marshal gives me a no contact. I don't know how I was supposed to avoid that, but I got a no contact anyways. But when we get to this apex right here, I decide to go for the inside right here, but kart 13 blocks me off so I can't overtake him. But because of that, kart 11 gets the inside on me, so I have to let him through because I don't want to cause a crash, and he gets the overtake. I don't know if kart 13 turned in on me on purpose, but I lost a position to kart 11 anyway, so now I need to try to overtake both of them. But a bit after that, I catch up with this group of people right here, and one of them causes a crash, and I didn't expect that, so I just crashed into kart 11. Kart 11, if you're watching this, I did not expect you to stop. I'm so sorry. But anyways, I catch up to kart 13 and he goes a little bit too wide right here and goes into the barrier, and because of that he's forced to go wide, so I easily pull a switchback right here and get the overtake. And annoyingly, after that, kart 6 is on the middle of the track and that causes me to pull this move. I don't know how I managed to do that, but the session is yellow flagged. But luckily no one else has crashed into us. But when the lights go green, the lights go yellow because the guy in the green suit basically does the same thing I did like a few seconds ago. But after that yellow flag, I catch up to kart 6 again and he messes up his entry right here. So that means I get a free overtake right here. And a few laps later, I catch up to these guys and one of them goes for the outside and that means I get an overtake on them. And then the session gets yellow flagged because some guy is in the barrier. I don't know how he managed to do this, but he's in the barrier and the session is yellow flagged. Hopefully he's fine. And after the yellow flag, I catch up to kart 7 and he sees me and lets me through. Honestly, he's a real one for that. I gave him a thumbs up after that. If you're on a public session, be like him. He knew there's a faster driver behind him and he let them through. But after that, I catch up to kart 9 and he messes up his entry right here. And he kinda caused the crash, but luckily no marshal was needed because I managed to overtake him anyways. And after a few laps, the session goes yellow and then red for some reason, and I figure out why. There are 3 guys stopped on the track because kart 20's wheel fell off. I've been karting for a long time now and this is the first time I've seen something like this happen. This red flag took quite a while, so I'm gonna summarize it for you. The marshal tells us to move up a little bit and then the guy in the blue suit gets out of his cart, probably so they can move his car away. And after 40 seconds the session gets yellow flagged and then the checkered flag came out and that means that's the end of session 1. To be honest, that session was quite interesting, but the next session is just as chaotic. So let's get into session 2. So here the lights go green and I catch up to this group of people right here, and me and kart 8 managed to overtake kart 3 because he went wide. And as we are going down through the straight, kart 11 goes into kart 10 and that causes a big crash. But I didn't brake in time and I just go into kart 8. Hopefully everyone in the crash is fine. But because of that crash, kart 3 goes for the outside and manages to overtake me. And a few seconds later, I catch up to kart 3 again and overtake him on the inside like I did last time. But after that, the marshal shows me a no contact. I don't know how I was supposed to avoid that crash. But as we get to this apex right here, kart 9 is just parked on the apex, so I managed to overtake him quite easily. But when the lights go green again, I try to go for the outside of kart 2, but that doesn't work out, and kart 12 manages to overtake me on the inside. And when we get to this apex right here, kart 4 pulls a switchback on me and manages to get the overtake on the inside. But 2 seconds later, the session gets yellow flagged because there's 2 guys stuck on the apex. I don't know what happened here, but the session gets yellow flagged. But when the lights go green, kart 10 manages to find a gap and manages to overtake me on the outside. But then the session gets yellow, and something interesting happens. Me and two guys in front of me are approaching the straight right here. Kart 18 goes for the inside and overtakes all of us. Please bear in mind this is a yellow flag, not a green flag. As you can see, me and Kart 4 are quite annoyed at this guy because he literally overtook all of us on the straight when it's a yellow. Even worse, he did that in front of a marshal. But then Kart 10 overtakes Kart 4 on the inside while it's still a yellow. Like, why do you do this, man? You can tell Kart 4 is really angry about this. And me too, because Kart 19 overtakes me on the inside, so like, why? This is a public session, not a race. If you're ever on a public session, do not do this, you're gonna risk getting banned. But to make it worse, my kart slows down a lot on this apex and kart 11 manages to overtake me on the outside. But a few seconds later, I go for the outside right here and I manage to overtake kart 11 quite easily. But then the lights go yellow again and kart 19 and kart 10 overtake kart 2 on a yellow flag. You can tell how angry I am at these guys because look how much I raised my hand. Even kart 2 is annoyed at them. But when we go into the pits, you can see both of them are getting told off by the marshals. And that's the end of session 2. If you guys are wondering, Kart 12 is also a YouTuber. I'll put his YouTube channel on the screen. To be honest, this video was quite chaotic as there was a lot of things going on, like someone's tire falling off, but the video itself was quite interesting. So if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, it will help a lot.